Hey, what up? It's New Age Ja, and I literally feel like a mad woman these days. Like, who am I? Like, who am I becoming? And why do I feel so fucking destructive? Like, I really feel like inside. Alright. Enough of the bullshit. I really want to get down to the bottom of the bullshit. What the fuck is going on in the romance, like, love sector? Oh, I'm an artist. I do hair. Been a hair artist since I was 15. Hair color, okay? Licensed professional, by the way. What the fuck is going on in the love department? Like, I don't even know what's going on with, like, love and romance. I do know very stable love. So we have student. Okay, so student in love. So we're learning lessons in love, or we're being put in a humbling position in regards to love and romance. Perhaps we feel like newbies in this department, although we're obviously not. Student in love. Humility and devotion to knowledge, openness to lifelong learning. So perhaps redirecting the goal and the focus, instead of focusing on love, focusing on learning and bettering the self. This actually ties into the idea of always leveling up. And always leveling up can be an act of self-love, but could also go against the acts of self-love. As we are always searching for refinement, always searching for more, always wanting more, tweaking this could get better. When I get this, I can change this. When I get this can change. And, you know, transformation should be a slow evolutionary process and not one that is constantly eating at your soul until you find the perfection that you seek. Student, let it just all fucking be wild the way that I fucking feel. So, romance, love. So we are in a student position when it comes to romance and love. And my children are floating about. Can't do anything about it. They're curious and nosy beings. Advocate. Inspires you to put compassion into action, embracing negative causes or committing to causes for personal gain. So we are the student and the advocate, perhaps teaching others through our own personal strifes, our own, like, bad romance stories. Teaching our young and our youthful in regards to, like, partnerships and relationships, and really just, like, giving them the heads up as to what we are going through in regards to romance. But does that ever work? Does this person in a student position ever really truly listen? They just hang around long enough to hear the thing that they were looking to hear anyways. Then we have queens, the self-worth, and the scribe. Yeah, so the scribe is definitely taking notes as she will ascend from the student into the queen, queen, king. Queen, king is more stern, intellectual, like hardworking, enterprising. And the queen is a manifester. She is someone who draws onto her. So we are learning how to further stand in our queen energy. And I love how that's moving on its own. And how, like, it doesn't matter whether you're a male or a female. Coming from a female, you will hear a lot of she, sometimes he. Does it really matter? Okay. Queen energy, learning how to continue to step into your queen energy. If love is meant for you, if romance is meant for you, it will find you. The scribe, in the meanwhile, we are preserving knowledge and information, taking notes of what we did wrong, what we did right, what we don't like, what we do like, understanding that we are the only ones who are in control of our own situations, If there's something that we don't like externally, it's because we don't like something internally. So this is probably why I feel so fucking witchy, because I'm working out all the shit that doesn't feel good internally. So much for love and romance. Go with the flow. Go with the flow. So we're a student taking notes to better further and come into our queen attractive energy. Listen, if they don't love you for who you are, they're not gonna love you later on down the fucking road. If they don't love you now, it's probably because you're not in your full capacity of self. You're being dishonest to self in one way or another, and that could be potentially repelling. But as you become more honest and raw dog and just more of who you are intrinsically, then perhaps the external repulsion will not continue. Because it doesn't matter. Even the prettiest of faces can repel the biggest of blessings, right? Self-improvement, internal self-improvement, instead of always externalizing that. What the fuck does that look like to you anyways? I mean, if I'm always in the search of improving the external realization, then I'm always in a hunt, in a need, in a wanting, in a hungry, unsatisfied space as I'm trying to make things better. No, how about being satisfied with who you are and just cutting off the begrudging of the entire world and sit in your own shit. And sometimes sitting in your own shit can be the most attractive because, right, no one's perfect. Well, even if you weren't pursuing the ideal of perfection, someone told you that you had to embody it. So the falsities and the lies, right? As when someone falls in love with you, the reality of who you are comes alive, usually. Good or bad, better or for worse. This is why some people can be straight up like janky and attract the most, because they're being authentic to themselves, which could appear as being fucking janky. Anyways. Goodness gracious. Who's messing with the love department, or who's ruling the love department, or who's responsible in the love department right now? Who's the culprit? We have 4 cards. Okay, so we have the lunar eclipse, which that popped up in yesterday's shadow work reading. If you're wondering about romance, perhaps that shadow work thing is going to work out for you. Jupiter. Okay, Jupiter in traditional or Vedic astrology tends to be your husband. Then we have the 8th house ending, so we're changing, something's eclipsing out in regards to abundance, personal abundance. 8th house, endings and beginnings. The 8th house is where transformations ensue, and then we have the moon. That actually makes a lot of sense, as we have the moon, the 8th house, deep transformation. And the moon is also the body. It's the soul. It's the dark internal work. If you're here, you need to watch yesterday's shadow work reading. And if you don't understand it, I am transmuting energy so that you don't have to do it. All you have to do is just be present and participate. Just listen. Lunar eclipse, change in abundance, some type of ending, windfall, inheritance, something that you weren't expecting to come your way. Perhaps your soul mate, having the soul 8th house of. The 8th house is usually joint finances, joint resources. Okay, some type of ending and beginning. And then this Jupiter energy exemplifying luck, expansion, abundance, but as well as the husband. And then we have this lunar eclipse change, this emotional change happening. Sorry, little one. Okay, mommy's almost done. Give me a few minutes. Okay, boom. What else do we need to know? What's going on with love and romance, and why is it that we need to be so goddamn raw, maybe a little crazy, letting this crazy wild side ride out? This is how I feel. This is what it feels like. And so let the mania ensue. The controlled mania, that is. Shadow. Yes. Shadow work. Shadow work. Shadow work. There is shadow work that needs to be done in order for the romantic life and the abundance to take place. Coming to an acceptance of your transformation, of transformations of the soul, of the self, the shadow aspect of our being. And before romance can even become a thing, it's lurking in the shadows for sure. The student and the scribe is writing her own destinies, writing her own densities. Take a pen, rewrite your story, rewrite where you've been, where you're going. Mercury is in Cancer, and it's about delving into the past. Mercury is writing about the past, journaling about the past, rewriting the past, rewriting histories, creating a new story and narrative for you to follow. Venus and Mars and Leo are being quite dramatic. Exactly. Igniting the passion. This is an extremely passionate side sign time. You're supposed to be feeling passionate, whether light or dark or in between. There should be some type of overwhelming emotional display occurring within you, and you can be the only one to witness it. It doesn't have to be for the whole entire world. It can be a personal experience. That fertility card to me is being protected, putting up boundaries, being in a protective space, a prayer space, a healing space, taking the time to rest, rejuvenate so that you can, you know, rejuvenate your fertility. Oh, we have rest and rejuvenate here. Exactly. I didn't even see that it was focused on this card. Rest and rejuvenate. That looks a lot like this. Shadow work. And the obstacle cards. I think the 5 of Swords really showed up yesterday. And so like these mental obstacles, physical obstacles, these like nagging, you could say things that are just taking bills, food shopping, grocery shopping, fucking utilities and cars and gas and clothes and diapers and like showers and all that, the mundane reality, and then the mental conflict that comes along with it, and the anxiety and needs for change, and the wanting of love and romance, and not understanding why you're not attracting it, because everything looks so fucking beautiful on the outside, but it's all really a fucking mess, because you're going crazy trying to figure out the alignment, and it's just, romance comes in the thick of time, in the nick of time, into the thick of it, into the thick of it, into the thick of it. It's time to go into the thick of it and embody that shadow, embody that self, embody the distortion and the mess and the craziness and the need to just like scream, hallelujah, hallelujah, for I'm surrendering, but it doesn't take away from the edge or the bite. Leo, Mars, and Venus in the first house here, and okay, acting up. But I have this Saturn opposition. Alright? Into the thick of it. Into the thick of it. Very interesting. So, any more messages for this, like, love romance reading? He's coming back, darling. She's coming back, darling. When you least expect it. Nah. The Golden Tarot. Dang. 6 of Coins. Okay, maybe something or someone is coming back to rectify things, to bring balance to a once unbalanced situation. Don't get too excited, because it could just be a readjustment of, I don't know, consciousness, conscience, a readjustment of conscience. I don't know. Who knows? Justice. Oh. Exactly. Just as a rebalancing of consciousness, conscience, good or bad. 6 of coins, right. There's a scale, there's a scale. 9 of coins. Getting what is owed to you, really. Here's an offer made, a new offer, a new beginning. Perhaps putting you in a student position, perhaps graduating you from your student and scribe position because you've done your work. Anyways, something may be appearing in the oddest of ways, but it really depends above or about or how you feel about yourself, really. That will determine what it is that you garner. That is the winning factor, and that is the only factor. So until next time, I gotta go change a diaper. Later.